Grace Nganga KTN.
Human rights defenders are casting doubts over President William Ruto's move to create a task force to oversee the compensation of demonstrations protest victims. Now, speaking at an event marking the International Youth Day, Shakira Wafula said there are organizations that are able to handle the victims' compensation. When Fiorino reports on the kill and pay mantra, weeks after the president and his Interior Cabinet Secretary issued shoot orders to the police.
Days ago, President William Ruto established a formal framework to compensate victims of demonstrations and designated Professor Makau Motua, a senior advisor on constitutional affairs and human rights, as the principal coordinator of the state intervention and compensation framework. This has elicited mixed reactions, with some supporting and others criticizing the move.
We lost a son, we lost a brother, we lost a cousin. But our main purpose and our main aim, it is justice to prevail. At least we need to be shown that something has been done for our family. Your money can never bring back our son, can never bring back my cousin.
While hosting a football tournament in Mathare slums on Tuesday to mark the International Youth Day, human rights defenders criticized the president's move to form a task force that will spearhead the compensation exercise. They argue there are organizations that can ably do that.
Tunajua kila kukiwa na maandamano, it is the informal settlements kama Mathare where police wanakuja na wanaua vijana. So we've come here today kusema kwa sauti moja, tunataka polisi waache kuua vijana. Na tunaambia vijana, if we want to change the status quo, tunataka kubadilisha hii mambo isifanyike tena, then ni lazima wachukue kura.
I mean, what is the use of a committee if most of the money allocated to that task is going to go to feeding this committee and paying their allowances? If the government were actually serious about compensating these young people, they don't need to start a committee. There are so many organizations, Vocal Africa, we have even KRC, they should have worked with them.
The president's initiative was a reaction to calls for compensation of bereaved families and survivors of police brutality during demonstrations dating back to January 2017 up to 31st of July this year, and it also recognized instances of violence, bodily harm, and loss of life that occurred during the protests. The initiative will also involve the Office of the Attorney General and the Ministry of Interior. However, it clearly contradicts a directive issued earlier by the president and his Interior Cabinet Secretary directing the police to shoot at protesters approaching police stations during demonstrations. According to the law, the state can only compensate victims only if they initiate a process via a complaint to the Office of the Attorney General. The Mutua-led team is yet to communicate on the way forward, since it will be operational for around 4 months. Winfrey Owino, KTN.
As the government rolls out flashy giveaways under the banner of youth empowerment, critics are raising